Okay, here are the directions to your plotline assignment. So what you need to do is go find yourself a blank piece of paper, just like I have here. And I want you to start out by drawing the diagram of that plot line. So, it looks like so, like a mountain. And I'm going to switch my color. I'm going to just kind of label each of the steps. So remember, exposition, I'm going to abbreviate, is that first step where we set up the characters. Rising action is where we build up, to the main action of the story. And the main action of the story is going to be the climax. Then you have your falling action after that, which wraps up kind of, or kind of like moves you into how the story is going to end, which is the resolution. Now, you need to label it somehow. You can abbreviate just like I did with these letters, but then what you need to do, I'm going to switch colors again, is jot down little notes about a storyline that you can plot on this diagram. So the story I'm going to use as an example, and you can use any story you want. It can be a real story or make up a story or whatever you want to do. But I'm going to use a story where the exposition has characters from Pillager, Minnesota. So that's where my story is taking place. The people in the story and the characters are going to be students, teachers, pretty much anyone in the community. Okay? So I will set that up in my story first. And then as my story continues, I'm going to kind of build the action with the beginning of the school year and tell the story about how the school year started. And build it with the, describing the new rules, the masks, the more online stuff, all of that. And you can already tell, and then make sure that you jot this down somewhere too. There's some kind of a conflict that's developing here. And we know very well that this is a little more stressful than usual. It's causing us some stress and we're unsure of what's going to happen. So as we keep going through that, I am going to create my own idea now of what I think the climax is going to be. I think the climax could be that we all have to go home, which would be a bummer. But I'm going to add to that by saying the exciting element of that is I think they'll find a cure. I mean, I hope they do. I don't know that they will right now or right away. But wouldn't that be exciting? That would be an awesome climax. And then their falling action could just kind of be, everybody getting back on track. Maybe we'll have some celebrations. You could actually give people hugs again without worrying. Back to school, back to normal kind of stuff. So that wraps things up and brings us to the ending where I guess I would see that as kind of one of those happily ever after type situations, and just create my ending in a positive way. Now, as you know, stories can go in many, many different directions. So you decide, and you can see my plot line isn't beautiful and super neat, but you can kind of get the idea. And that's all I'm looking for from you, is to kind of do some brainstorming and work with this idea of the plot line diagram. Let me know if you have any questions. And of course, you can go back and pause along the way if you need to jot some things down. But get that plot line developed and create your storyline.